Capital Newspapers welcomes you to the bustling city of Pietermaritzburg, famed for its rich history, jacaranda-lined avenues, top-notch educational institutions, and rapidly expanding regional economy. Welcome to the city of Peyton, Gandhi, and Mandela. Pietermaritzburg, the economic powerhouse of the KZN Midlands. Did you know that Pietermaritzburg and the surrounding Midlands is one of the fastest growing economies in South Africa? Did you know that Pietermaritzburg is ranked in the top 10 South African cities in terms of contribution to national GDP? Did you know that Pietermaritzburg is the second largest economy in KwaZulu-Natal? Wow, you can say that again. Yes, it is true. Pietermaritzburg is the second largest economy in KwaZulu-Natal. Pietermaritzburg is ranked in the top 10 South African cities in terms of contribution to the national GDP. Much of the massive economic growth stems from a decision in 2004 to relocate the provincial capital from Ulundi back to Pietermaritzburg, resulting in the relocation of thousands of highly paid provincial government officials and their families, as well as making the city the center of government's multi-billion rand budget spend. One city with a population of over 630,000 residents and 160,000 households, Capital Newspapers covers the entire city economy, distinct definitive newspaper titles that target mapped, economically active households, that being Maritzburg Sun with 30,000 copies weekly, Public Eye 30,000 copies weekly, Village Talk 12,000 copies weekly, Msunduzi Eyetu 35,000 copies weekly. No other newspaper company provides seamless, total newspaper coverage that Capital Newspaper offers.
Capital Media is the heartbeat of the community with newspapers throughout the city. We have an extensive network in the community that is further maximized with our digital and online presence, with a team of dedicated reporters and photographers. Without a doubt, if there's a story in your area, you can bet your bottom dollar you're going to read the story behind the story, and more in our publication.
The payoff from print and digital approaches might at first seem very mutually exclusive, but when you combine the two, the result is much greater than the sum of its parts. Now, the term omnichannel is a marketing buzzword, and that just basically means that marketers nowadays have to ensure that there is a seamless experience between all the channels and products. Now, in terms of local publishing, we are definitely not excluded from that, and we are very excited nowadays to offer the best of both worlds, which will include print as well as digital. Our community newspapers are local trusted household names, and they are deeply entrenched in the communities of Maritzburg. In a nutshell, our value proposition as a hyper-local publisher is that we can create any type of advertising campaign across all communication channels to a researched audience, and not once a week anymore, but daily, 24/7. So why won't you want to associate your brand with us?
Capital Newspapers has embraced the digital universe and now offers an integrated 360 degrees media experience for our readers and our advertisers. Apart from our strong print platform, our news is now offered 24 hours a day throughout breaking news online, as well as offering advertisers integrated print digital solutions to maximize market penetration and return on investment.
Everyone in the community reads the Public Eye. I know it's a newspaper, but truth be told, we use it for the adverts and the specials. We plan our weekly and monthly shopping by comparing prices and planning our shopping, and we end up saving a lot. Currently, everybody is following the Public Eye for the Sony murder trial story. Articles about the community is always what you will find in the Public Eye. Local is what they provide, and it is what the community is asking for. We love the paper, and it's the only paper that caters to the needs of this community.
If you talk to a man in a language that he understands, what happens? that goes to his head. But if you talk to a man in a language that is his language, his mother tongue, what happens? It goes to his heart. And that's basically what we call experiential marketing in the branding industry, because when you can touch somebody and speak to somebody directly to their hearts, that comes with feelings and emotions, and people become loyal and they become followers of your brand and they look up to you. The reason I speak about the importance of language is because our brand, which is called KZN Eyetu, is a very crucial and important brand in the KZN region. The word Eyetu in isiZulu means it is ours. So when our newspaper lands in a household, from a gonko to a mom, to a mother, to a brother, to the community, to the taxi ranks, to the spaza shops, to the schools, to the clinics, people connect. People believe and they can feel that this is our community. We own this. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the community. We are a very vibrant, aspirational brand with an LSM of 3 to 8. We basically are here to stay. We're not going anywhere. With digital and social media coming into play, basically what we are doing is we're fusing the three and we're becoming relevant to our people. And to think that we are celebrating 10 years this year, that's a decade. I must say I'm very proud to be part of this brand and in this journey, and to think that 10 years ago, my father was one of the founders who believed very much in isiZulu. I'm here to stay, and all I can say is cheers to 10 more years to the brand.
So yeah, I mean, the great thing about the Maritzburg Sun is that we get to find out about what's happening in everyday life in the community through breaking news online, while the paper itself is predominantly focused on interesting articles about people in the community, events and entertainment as well. I think for my family and I, because we're just getting started in life, so to us, lifestyle-centric content, that's what we look forward to. And you know, with that being said, the catalogs and adverts that deal with that, we take good interest in that. So that'll be your decor, your appliances, and your home furnishing. And I think as a family, we enjoy having friends over and family over good food. So the supermarket specials and your daily specials are what we really look forward to as well. And I think we're also quite adventurous as well as a family. So you know, a good bottle of wine to finish things off makes everything perfect.
Capital Newspapers is the only newspaper publishing company in Pietermaritzburg that has its own internal newspaper printing plant. To keep up with the growth of the group, and with Capital Newspapers' expanding footprint in the region, millions of rands were spent recently upgrading and expanding capacity and creating a much-needed direct and downstream jobs in the market. Distributing 127,000 newspapers weekly in the Pietermaritzburg Midlands region, Capital Newspapers is by far the leading newspaper publishing group with an estimated market penetration of well over 500,000 readers. All our newspapers are ABC audited and verified to ensure we deliver maximum impact to our clients. As a majority Black-owned newspaper publishing and printing company, Capital Newspapers is a proudly Level 2 BEE company. As the leading preferred news media company in Pietermaritzburg, Capital Newspapers invests heavily in community relationships and is the official community media partner for the Mandela Marathon, the Comrades Marathon, the Royal Show, and many other local high-profile CSI projects.
The very first Comrades Marathon took place on Empire Day in 1921. Obviously, we owe the roots of the Comrades Marathon to one very special man, that is Vic Clapham, who fought in the First World War, saw the ugliness of war and the brutality of it, and realized that his comrades who lost their lives, who were maimed and injured in that war, were not going to just die in vain. When it comes to support by the media, our sponsors, stakeholders, we've also over the years gotten a really beautiful relationship going with the Capital Media newspaper, stable of newspapers and print media platforms, with the Eyetu newspapers, and with all of the people we work so closely with. The reporters and management at Eyetu is just phenomenal. Not only are they the community media partners to the Comrades Marathon, but also support our CSI initiatives, like they are the official media partners of our CSI road running event, the Greater Edendale Race, which is hosted in November every year in the community of Edendale, just outside of Pietermaritzburg. Eyetu, Edendale Eyetu, and the Capital Media newspapers has really been growing since obviously partnering with the Comrades Marathon and other like-minded events and initiatives, and it's just been phenomenal to see. The support we get from them is just really, really great, so we really appreciate that.
In 2018, the Royal Show, South Africa's oldest and largest mixed agricultural show, celebrates its 168th anniversary. Starting in 1851, the entity has for more than a century and a half fulfilled the needs of exhibiting and catering for the goods and services produced within the province of KZN, as well as all agricultural production. Aside from being a conduit of exhibition for agriculture, commerce, industry and the service sector, the Royal Show's activities add considerable value to the regional community. And empirical research indicates that the activities conducted at these famous showgrounds during the course of the Royal Show, before and after, during an annual period, contribute around 300 to 400 million rand to the regional economy. The Royal Show is delighted to partner with Capital newspapers, who have always gone the extra mile to add value to our endeavours, and indeed the city's endeavours. In this regard, it is important to note that the Royal Show is a non-profit making organisation run largely by volunteers who receive no remuneration for their endeavours, and we are ever so dependent on the support of the community and the media, and it's in this regard that Capital newspapers have certainly come to the party.
In the currency of media, content is king and conversation is queen. At Capital newspapers, we have an extensive network of reporters and content providers covering relevant, gripping, local news. Invest in Pietermaritzburg and the PMB Midlands, one of the fastest growing economic nodes in South Africa. Capital city of the KwaZulu-Natal province, second largest economy in KZN, aspirant metro, ranked in the top 10 cities contributing to SA's GDP. Pietermaritzburg is poised for growth, and Capital newspapers is proudly Pietermaritzburg, working to grow our city and to grow our economy.